Everyone, welcome to WhiskyWars. Today we have arguably, well, certainly when I started drinking whiskey, my favourite distillery, and actually my favourite whiskey, which was Laphroaig 10. And I'm saying goodbye to this bottle with this review. I've saved the last drops for this review, and I got a comment about a month or so ago asking if I'd do a review with the Laphroaig 10 CASK strength, and it was on my list. I was really wanting to do it, and just luckily when I came back home I found a really good deal at my local store, so I bought one. So we're comparing the Laphroaig 10, bottled at 40% in the UK, not like the 43% in America, unfortunately. But we're comparing it with the Laphroaig 10 CASK strength, and this one is batch 13, which was bottled in January 2021, so a year from the recording, basically. And this is bottled at 57.9%. Really, you've no idea how long I was waiting for this whiskey and how looking forward to this review I am, because this whiskey is sublime. Okay, start it off. Is there another distillery like Laphroaig? I don't think there is. It's so unique and I love that. I always say it whenever I try Laphroaig 10. I am in a forest, in the Lake District, in Scotland, wherever it may be, and it's wet. There's trees that are falling down, they're rotting. It's maybe autumn time and leaves are rotting. They've fallen on the floor as well. And you've just got this lovely pine resin with moss, with damp wood, rotting vegetation. And I love it. It's so nice. It's briny. It's peaty. Don't get me wrong, it's peaty and smoky. But that wet wood, it's just amazing. Love it. But a very salty whiskey as well. Now let's see how the CASK strength compares, because I was really looking forward to this. And if I'm being totally honest, I was really disappointed. You know, so that proves there's no bias on this channel. That's definitely no bias, because I wanted this whiskey for 18 months to 2 years. Now, I don't know if I've got a bad batch or anything, but for me, I was expecting Laphroaig 10 turned up, amplifying those lovely flavours, and I'm getting something very different. Now, bear in mind, I've had this bottle of whiskey, which might annoy a few people, for over a year now. So it's likely going to taste way worse than it did when it started. But I have to say, there's more flavour there. Now, I must be wrong with this, but every time I've tried it so far, I've come to the same conclusion. The CASK strength smells sweeter, as if it's been caramelised, bit of honey, bit of fudge, and it's lost that briny, forest-like nose that I just fell in love with. And it's really sad, I have to be honest. I think maybe Americans get the best Laphroaig 10, because that's at 43%, so 3% stronger. I'd imagine that's where it's best. I'd love to try it and see the difference with the 40%, but right now this 57.9% is so disappointing that I would go as far to say that it's the most disappointing CASK strength whiskey I've had compared to its lower proof counterpart. I really mean that. I've had Redbreast 12 and even though I'm not blown away with that whiskey, the cask strength is amazing. It transforms the whiskey, it makes it 10 times better. This is worse. So I'm really hoping the taste can change that. It is watery. Look, but I have owned this bottle for a while, and it is bottled at 40%, so that's something you would expect, but an ashiness has come to the taste now. It's just like ashy water with all that forest mulch that I just love. I love this whiskey. Onto the cask strength. There we go. There we go. I think I was almost going to have a little cry to myself there because I was so disappointed on the nose. The taste is bringing me back to Laphroaig 10. It's bringing me back. But I just feel like the cask strength changes the 10-year, the standard, and takes it into a direction that I think worsens the whiskey. That's a real shame for me. Now the bottle says to add water. Recommends twice as much water to whiskey, which can't be right, so I'm not going to do that, but I am going to add some in the hope that it just releases something. We'll try it with just the one to start with, and I'm really hoping some flavours come out here. And I'm not making this up. There's more flavour on the nose now. It's still not blowing me away, and maybe this is why a lot of people do prefer Ardbeg to Laphroaig. I've always been firmly in Laphroaig territory, but I have to be honest, the sherried Laphroaigs I really like, but not as much as... For me, the 10-year, the Select and the Quarter Cask, the cheapest three of their range, are actually the best. But I'm getting more now. A bit of wood coming through, which I really like. I love the Quarter Cask. Tobacco and ash heavy with wood. But it's not mossy. It's not pine resin. It's not as briny, salty. This is more sweet. A little bit more caramel. But we're getting much closer to Laphroaig 10 here. I'm happy. I'm happy now. This is the first time I've added water to the cask strength because I was saying to myself, I've got this wrong. I've got this wrong. I'm going to look an idiot on the website here, on YouTube, because this can't be as bad as what I'm thinking it is. And adding water saves this whiskey. The taste is lovely. It's got so much better than what it was at full proof. Having said that, it still feels reserved in its flavour profile. I was expecting, and it's a reserved Laphroaig 10. And if you're thinking it's going to be peatier, not for me. I think there's there's got to be a middle ground here. I think the Laphroaig 10 at 40% is a little bit too watery. I'd agree with that. And I think if they could bottle it at maybe like the quarter cask at 48%, maybe a 46%, I think they'd have a really good whiskey. But at the 58% this one's at, it's not that good. The water makes it better. I don't know what I would call it at. Maybe it's like 52.5% right now. And maybe I'm being overly critical just because of how much a fan I am of the Laphroaig 10. That's also possible. I'm just going to add a little bit more water now. See if it changes. There we go. So 2 teaspoons. Although it was a decent pour, to be fair. So maybe we're at 48-50% now. I've come to my conclusion. Quickly talking over price, the Laphroaig 10 is £40 RRP, but regularly on offer for around £28. Exceptional value, really good. The 10 cask strength, I've seen this usually for around £75. I managed to pick this up at my local store for £62 with 2 free Glencairns, which are about £15, aren't they? So, which I wanted anyway. So I was buying the Glencairns. So this essentially cost me £47, and for £47, I would go for this all day. But the likelihood is no one's getting a deal like that, and I probably won't get a deal like that again. So I am going to mark it nearer the £70 mark. And I have to be honest, water on the cask strength makes it way nicer, and maybe makes it the best overall with the 2 tablespoons of water. That second one made it even nicer, in my opinion. So around that 46-48% mark ABV for the cask strength. If you buy it, add water. I don't say that a lot, but I really mean it with this one. And for me, I would say that's possibly the best out of the 2. But for the price and the consistency and the fact that £28 I could go out and buy a bottle, I'd be hard pressed to look elsewhere. I really, really would. Overall, the best Laphroaig 10 is one that's proofed around 46-48%. So maybe if you're in America, and it depends what price you get this for in America. I'm really not sure, but if it's affordable and far cheaper than the cask strength, I would maybe stick with the 10-year. I think for us in the UK, at 40%, it's just that little bit more watery. And I actually think if you're going to be watering this whiskey down, which I really recommend you do, you're going to get a lot more out of it. And, perhaps this 700ml bottle becomes a litre bottle because of that. And so I think when you consider that, I think if you were drinking it cask, if you're drinking both neat, I would actually say just get the standard. It's better, and for the money as well. Why would you get the cask strength? But when you water this down, it does become a really nice whiskey, and you get more for it. So for the money, it probably doesn't work out too bad. That extra proof, it does amp up some volume, which I really like, and it does make it a little bit more interesting. But you do lose notes of the standard when you do upgrade to the cask strength. This is a really hard choice. I was going to sway for the cask strength, but for me, I love that untamed, raw, natural forest aspect of the standard 10-year, and for me the cask strength, it adds this sweetness to it, which is really nice, but it makes it less unique and less of what I love about Laphroaig 10. So I might shock a few people here. I've shocked myself, but I'm actually going to give the win today to the standard Laphroaig 10. And after that bombshell, if you like the video or you might disagree with me, please drop a comment and let me know your thoughts on these two whiskies, and see if you preferred the cask strength, because I would be interested to know. I had high hopes for it. It didn't deliver for me, but hey, I'm not saying this is a bad whiskey. This is still a top tier whiskey, and I'm going to be enjoying this bottle a lot. But next time when I finish both, I think I'll just replace the 10-year. So thanks for watching. Please leave a like on the video if you like the video, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share the video with a friend. Thanks for watching this Whiskey War, and we'll see you all for the next one.